The rise of Ra, the sun god's journey. Chapter 1. The birth of the world. Before time began, there was nothing but darkness, a vast and formless expanse that stretched endlessly in all directions. The waters of none, cold and silent, swallowed everything in their infinite depth. In this void, nothing stirred, no land, no sky, no light, just the eternal, motionless sea of chaos. Yet from this emptiness a stir of potential grew, hidden deep within the heart of the universe. From the depths of none emerged a mound, sacred and ancient, a solitary island of stability rising above the restless waters. It was known as Benben, the first land to exist, a place of divine power. And atop this mound, standing tall and alone, was Atum, the first god, the source of all creation, born from the void through his own will. His form shimmered with the essence of both man and spirit, and his eyes glowed with the force of life that would soon shape the world. Atum gazed upon the waters that surrounded him, the silence of the abyss pressing against him like a living thing. Yet in this moment, he was filled with purpose. The vast potential of the universe lay within him, and from his essence, he would create the world and all that would inhabit it. But even Atum, powerful as he was, could not shape the world alone. He took a deep breath, and from his lungs emerged Shu, the god of air. Shu, light as a breeze and strong as a storm, drifted upward, raising the sky far above the surface of the waters. The heavens stretched high, wide and eternal, creating a space where life could breathe and exist. Atum then exhaled once more, and from his breath came Tefnut, the goddess of moisture. Her essence seeped into the world, filling the air with warmth and bringing the flow of rivers, rain, and oceans. Together, Shu and Tefnut formed the balance between sky and water, the pillars upon which the world would stand. As Shu held the sky and Tefnut gave life to the waters, the earth began to take form. Trees sprouted from the soil, their roots sinking deep into the ground as their branches reached towards the heavens. Flowers bloomed in vibrant colors, and grasses stretched out across vast plains. The rivers wound through valleys and forests, carrying the essence of life wherever they flowed. Fish swam in their currents, and birds soared through the air, filling the world with sound and movement. The creation of the earth was beautiful and full of promise. The winds whispered through the trees, and the waters danced in the sunlight. But as life began to spread, so too did the shadows, for deep beneath the surface, in the darkest depths of none, a force stirred, a force that sought not to create but to destroy. This force was Apep, the great serpent of chaos. Born from the same primordial waters that had birthed Atum, Apep was the embodiment of darkness and destruction, a being who despised the light and order that now filled the world. Coiled in the murky depths, Apep watched with growing hatred as life spread across the land. His red eyes gleamed with malice, and his scales shimmered with the blackness of the void. Every breath he took was filled with venom, and every thought he had was one of rage. I will tear it all down, Apep hissed to the silent waters around him. This light, this life, this world, it has no place in the eternal night of none. But for now, Apep was content to wait. He knew that his time would come, that the chaos he craved would eventually swallow the light. Until then, he would grow in strength, lurking in the shadows, watching and waiting for his moment to strike. Above, on the surface of the world, Atum felt the presence of the serpent, but he was not afraid. He had known that with the creation of order, chaos would rise in opposition. This was the way of the universe, a balance that could never be avoided. But Atum also knew that chaos could not be allowed to reign unchecked. The world he had shaped needed protection, a guardian who could preserve the light and drive back the darkness. And so, Atum summoned his greatest creation, Ra, the god of the sun. Ra was born from the eye of Atum, his body radiant with the light of 1,000 suns. As he emerged, the world was bathed in golden light, and for the first time, the darkness of noon was pushed back. The brilliance of Ra's presence was overwhelming, his warmth filling every corner of the earth, and his light giving life to all things. The creatures of the world, both mortal and divine, looked upon Ra in awe. His very being was a symbol of power, order, and protection. With his emergence, the days began, and the cycle of time was set into motion. Day and night now followed one another in an eternal dance, marking the passage of time and the balance between light and darkness. Atum gazed upon his creation and was pleased. "You are the protector of the light," he said to Ra, "the guardian of this world and all that exists within it. Your journey will be eternal, for as long as there is light, there will be darkness that seeks to consume it. You will travel across the sky each day, and each night you will descend into the underworld, where the forces of chaos lie in wait." Ra nodded, his face calm but determined. "I will guard the world, Father," he said. "I will battle the darkness, and I will ensure that the sun rises each morning, bringing life to the earth." And so, Ra began his eternal journey. Each day, he rose in the east, his golden rays stretching across the sky as he sailed his great solar boat, Manjad. With him sailed the gods who would aid him in his quest, Ma'at, the goddess of truth and order, who kept the balance of the universe, Thoth, the god of wisdom, who recorded the passage of time and all that occurred in the cosmos, and a host of other divine beings, each with their own role in preserving the balance of creation. Together, they sailed across the sky, their journey visible to all who lived on earth. As they passed overhead, the world below was bathed in light, and the creatures of the earth rejoiced in the warmth of the sun. But as Ra's journey came to an end, and each day the light began to fade. In the west, the sun set and the darkness crept in. This was the moment when Ra would descend into the underworld Duat, where Apep and the forces of chaos awaited him.